Arielle, you are American.
Uh-huh.
You are very interested by environment
Mm-hmm.
issues, and you observe uh, cultures
Mm-hmm.
in the context of America and contemporary culture in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
context of America. So, what do you think of the evolution of the American sensibility about green, about
Mm-hmm.
sustainable development? How
Yeah.
you see the evolution? Because it seems that there are part of
Mm-hmm.
Americans who are really interested by those
Mm-hmm.
subjects and even
Yeah.
are activists, and then other part of Americans who are completely detached of it
Yeah. Yeah.
and they don't care at all. So,
Yeah.
how you see this kind of extreme
Mm.
position, which is quite different from example actually what you can observe in Germany.
Right. Right. Well, I think part of it has to do with the fact that the United States has become a nation of extremes. So
Mm.
you have people, the issues are often so polarized now that it's not unusual. I mean, any issue you take of, people tend to be on one side or the other, and there's not much of a middle ground. With regards to sustainability or environmental aspects, I think it's very interesting. You can see if you look back at the way environmental movements interacted with politics. You know, the 70s was sort of the heyday. The environmentalists made a lot of progress, a lot of legal progress. That's when the legislation happened. Then the pendulum swings back in the 1980s with Reagan, and I think James Watts was the one he put into the EPA. And really, they start breaking down all the environmental protection. In terms of the way people interpret these things, I think the personal commitment to environmentalism is quite strong in the US. So people, it's both strong and not, because recycling is incredibly easy in many places in the US and people choose not to do it. But then again, there are a lot of people who have committed to these sort of lifestyle changes. The problem I see with the sustainable politics making progress in the US is the political and the personal are still quite separated. So it's still too far from people's everyday lives, and the individual changes are fantastic, but as long as the companies and the government are not enacting environmental legislation, why doesn't the United States sign any of the international treaties? It's because the lobbyists are so strong, and the average person is not seeing the connection between their political involvement and sort of their personal lifestyle choices. So this is where I see sort of the disjunct. And unfortunately, in culture, in popular culture, a lot of what you get is activism for the personal change, for recycling, for taking your bicycle to work, for composting your garden. And what really needs to happen, especially in the popular forum, is sort of mass political action. And that, I think, is what will then bring the sustainability movements significantly farther in the United States.